Hi guys, thank you so much for your support to our channel. We appreciate it. You know, during the citizenship interview, the officer will ask you the yes-no questions in Part 12 of the Form N400. Some officers just randomly ask a few yes-no questions in Part 12, but some officers ask almost all of them. And they may also ask you some vocabulary definitions in order to clarify your English understanding skills. I have seen many applicants fail the interview just because they could not explain a vocabulary. This is a significant part that you have to prepare and learn in order to pass your interview, and this video is everything you need. If you get everything in this video, I'm so sure you can pass your N400 interview easily.
All right, now please try to focus on listening to the highlighted keyword in each question. Let's start with the question number 1.
Have you ever claimed to be a US citizen in writing or any other way?
No.
Do you understand what claim means?
To say something is true.
What does claim to be a US citizen mean?
To state you are a US citizen.
Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States?
No.
What does register mean?
To sign up.
Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States?
No.
Can you explain what vote is?
To elect new leaders.
Do you now have, or did you ever have, a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country?
No.
What does hereditary title mean?
A royal title such as prince or princess.
Do you know what order of nobility is?
Like king or queen.
Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined to a mental institution?
No.
Can you define declared?
To be told something publicly.
What is legally incompetent?
Having mental problems.
What does confined mean?
To be kept in a place.
What does mental institution mean?
Hospital for people with mental problems.
Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes?
No.
What does it mean to owe?
To have a debt.
Do you know what owe taxes means?
To owe the government money.
What does overdue mean?
Past a deadline.
Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident?
No.
What does it mean to file a tax return?
To send tax paperwork to the government.
Have you called yourself a non-U.S. resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident?
No.
Please define non-U.S. resident.
Not a U.S. resident.
Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States or in any other location in the world?
No.
Have you ever been a member of or in any way associated, either directly or indirectly, with the Communist Party?
No.
What is a Communist Party?
No freedom, like China, North Korea.
Have you ever been a member of or in any way associated, either directly or indirectly, with any other totalitarian party?
No.
Do you know what a totalitarian party is?
Government controls everything and people have no power.
Have you ever been a member of or in any way associated, either directly or indirectly, with a terrorist organization?
No.
What is a terrorist organization?
An organization that uses violence against people.
Have you ever advocated, either directly or indirectly, the overthrow of any government by force or violence?
No.
Do you understand what advocate means?
To support.
Do you know what overthrow of a government means?
To remove a government from power.
Have you ever persecuted, either directly or indirectly, any person because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion?
No.
Do you know what persecute means?
To hurt someone badly.
What is religion?
A belief in God.
What does national origin mean?
Where a person is from.
Between March 23, 1933 and May 8, 1945, did you work for or associate in any way with the Nazi government of Germany?
No.
Can you define Nazi?
The party under Hitler.
Did you work for or associate in any way with any government in any area occupied by, allied with, or established with the help of the Nazi government of Germany?
No.
Did you work for any German, Nazi, or SS military unit, paramilitary unit, self-defense unit, vigilante unit, citizen unit, police unit, government agency or office, extermination camp, concentration camp, prisoner of war camp, prison, labor camp, or transit camp?
No.
Do you know what an SS military unit is?
An organization under the Nazi government.
What does extermination camp mean?
A place to keep people before killing them.
Do you understand what a concentration camp means?
A place to keep prisoners of war.
What is a prisoner of war camp?
A place to keep enemy soldiers.
What does a transit camp mean?
A place to keep people temporarily.
Were you ever involved in any way with genocide?
No.
What does it mean to involve?
To take part in.
Do you know what genocide means?
To kill a whole race.
Were you ever involved in any way with torture?
No.
Do you understand what torture is?
To hurt someone physically.
Were you ever involved in killing or trying to kill someone?
No.
Do you understand what kill means?
To cause the death of a person.
Were you ever involved in badly hurting or trying to hurt a person on purpose?
No.
Were you ever involved in forcing or trying to force someone to have any kind of sexual contact or relations?
No.
What is force sexual contact or relations?
To touch someone's body when they don't want it.
Were you ever involved in not letting someone practice his or her religion?
No.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in a military unit?
No.
Do you know what participate means?
To be part of.
What is a military unit?
A group that works for government.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in a paramilitary unit?
No.
What is a paramilitary unit?
Like a military group, but is not official.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in a police unit?
No.
What is a police unit?
A group that protects community.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in a self-defense unit?
No.
Please define a self-defense unit.
A group that protects a place.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in a vigilante unit?
No.
Can you explain what a vigilante unit is?
A group that acts like the police, but are not the police.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in a rebel group?
No.
Do you understand what a rebel group means?
A group fights a government.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in a guerrilla group?
No.
What is a guerrilla group?
A group uses weapons to attack the government.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in a militia?
No.
What is a militia?
An army does not work for a government.
Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in an insurgent organization?
No.
Please explain what an insurgent organization is.
A group fights a government.
Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in prison or jail?
No.
What is a prison or jail?
A place where prisoners are kept.
Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in prison camp?
No.
Do you know what a prison camp means?
A place to keep enemy soldiers.
Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in a detention facility?
No.
What is a detention facility?
A place where people are forced to stay.
Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in a labor camp?
No.
What is a labor camp?
A place to force people to work.
Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in any other place where people were forced to stay?
No.
Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so?
No.
Can you explain what a weapon is?
Like a knife or gun.
Do you know what threaten means?
To want to hurt someone.
Did you ever sell, give, or provide weapons to any person or help another person sell, give, or provide weapons to any person?
No.
Did you ever receive any type of military, paramilitary, or weapons training?
No.
What is weapons training?
To learn how to use a gun.
Did you ever recruit, enlist, conscript, or use any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed force or group?
No.
Do you know what recruit means?
To ask.
What does enlist mean?
To sign up in the armed forces.
Do you understand what conscript is?
To require someone to join the army.
Did you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything that helped or supported people in combat?
No.
Can you explain what combat is?
To fight in war.
Have you ever committed, assisted in committing, or attempted to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested?
No.
What is a crime?
An action that breaks the law.
Do you know what offense means?
A minor crime.
What does arrested mean?
Handcuffed by the police.
What does it mean to commit a crime?
To do something that breaks the law.
Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer, including any immigration official or any official of the U.S. Armed Forces for any reason?
No.
Can you define cited?
Given a ticket by the police.
Do you know what detained means?
Held in custody by the police.
Have you ever been charged with committing, attempting to commit, or assisting in committing a crime or offense?
No.
What is charged?
Please tell you did something illegal.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense?
No.
What is convicted?
To be found guilty of a crime.
Have you ever been placed in an alternative sentencing or a rehabilitative program, for example, diversion, deferred prosecution, withheld adjudication, deferred adjudication?
No.
What is alternative sentencing?
A different way to punish someone.
What is a rehabilitative program?
A program to help someone to restore health.
Please define diversion.
A different program to avoid jail time.
Do you understand what withheld adjudication is?
Like a second chance.
What is deferred prosecution or deferred adjudication?
Such as community service.
Have you ever received a suspended sentence, been placed on probation, or been paroled?
No.
Do you know what sentence means?
A punishment under the law.
What is suspended sentence?
Delaying of a sentence.
What does probation mean?
You report to an officer regularly instead of jail time.
Do you know what parole is?
The early release of a prisoner.
Have you ever been in jail or prison?
No.
Have you ever been a habitual drunkard?
No.
What is a habitual drunkard?
Someone who drinks too much alcohol regularly.
Have you ever been a prostitute or procured anyone for prostitution?
No.
Please define prostitute.
Someone who has sex for money.
What does procure mean?
To find someone for sex.
Have you ever sold or smuggled controlled substances, illegal drugs, or narcotics?
No.
What is smuggle?
To take things to a country illegally.
What are controlled substances?
You can buy it with a prescription, but with restrictions.
What are illegal drugs or narcotics?
Like heroin or cocaine.
Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time?
No.
Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit?
No.
Please explain what immigration benefit is.
Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship.
What does obtain mean?
To get something.
Have you ever helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally?
No.
Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling?
No.
Do you know what gamble means?
To play a game for money.
Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony?
No.
What is a dependent?
Someone who relies on another person.
Do you understand what pay alimony means?
To pay money to ex-spouse after a divorce.
Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States?
No.
What is public benefit?
Welfare like food stamps.
What does misrepresentation mean?
To lie or give wrong information.
Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading?
No.
What is false?
Not true.
What is fraudulent?
To claim something that is not true.
Do you know what misleading is?
To give a wrong idea.
Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States?
No.
Can you explain what lie means?
To say something that is not true.
What is admission into the United States?
The right to enter the United States.
Have you ever been removed, excluded, or deported from the United States?
No.
Do you know what exclude means?
To prevent from entering the United States.
What does deport mean?
To force a person to leave a country.
Have you ever been ordered removed, excluded, or deported from the United States?
No.
Have you ever been placed in removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings?
No.
What is rescission?
To take back a decision.
What are deportation proceedings?
Process of removing a person.
Are removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings, including administratively closed proceedings, currently pending against you?
No.
Can you define pending?
Waiting to happen.
Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
What is U.S. Armed Forces?
U.S. military, Navy, Air Force.
Are you currently a member of the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
Have you ever been court-martialed, administratively separated, or disciplined, or have you received an other than honorable discharge while in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
What is court-martialed?
To go to military court.
Do you understand what disciplined means?
To be punished for doing something wrong.
What does discharge mean?
A soldier leaves the military.
Have you ever been discharged from training or service in the U.S. Armed Forces because you were an alien?
No.
What is an alien?
Not a U.S. citizen.
Have you ever left the United States to avoid being drafted in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
Please define drafted.
Being selected as a soldier.
What does it mean to avoid being drafted?
To prevent being selected as a soldier.
Have you ever applied for any kind of exemption from military service in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
What is an exemption?
Special permission not to do something.
Have you ever deserted from the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
Do you understand what deserted means?
To abandon.
Are you a male who lived in the United States at any time between your 18th and 26th birthdays?
No.
Did you ever register for the Selective Service?
No.
What is the Selective Service?
Services in armed forces under law.
Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States?
Yes, I do.
What is the Constitution?
It is the supreme law of the land.
What is form of government of the United States?
Republic.
Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes.
What is an oath of allegiance?
A promise to be loyal to the United States.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes, I'm willing to.
If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States?
Yes.
Can you define bear arms?
To own or use a gun.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces?
Yes.
What are non-combatant services?
Services that do not involve combat.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?
Yes.
What is a work of national importance?
Tasks that are important to a nation.
Do you know what civilian is?
A person who is not in the military.
What is a civilian direction?
A direction from a person who is not in the military.